I guess, guys, whoops, I never, maybe I did kill the stream. I don't know. I don't know what I did there, but it looks like I'm still streaming, so, but I'm on a new stream. Very interesting. Let's get, light rain. That sucks. Gosh dang it. And I like this track too. But we gotta do it in the rain. This is a fun track. Maybe the rain will end by race time.
Be precise hitting the final two-turn apexes on the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix, and you can hit your top possible speed on front straight.
Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix. That's a mouthful. I cheated, got lazy, I don't know. I just put Catalunya on the title. Oh, rainy days. Rainy racing. I don't like rainy racing. Where am I at here? Oh, it's on the lead up to the starting line. Okay. I should know that by now. They're always going to start you on the lead up so you get full speed to start your first lap. What are the odds of making this corner on the first try in the rain with this car? Wait, that's not exactly how you're supposed to do it. Oh my goodness. You know, I really hate driving this car. I like Nissan, but I don't know, it's not a racing car. The Mazda's a racing car. I would love to buy a brand new Mazda again. One day get all my ducks in a row. Got money coming in. I might just do that. Brand new off the showroom floor. Might have to paint it after I get it just because all these idiot car companies don't know how to have fun with the car colors anymore. How are we supposed to be? This is the customized world nowadays. How come when you go to buy a car, it's like, I mean, how many people get to buy a brand new car in their lifetime? I mean, there's probably some people out there, but for most people, it's like maybe they get to buy one brand new car in their lifetime just because it's such a, you're really sinking a lot of money in because of the depreciation as soon as you drive it off the lot. You know, I know everybody's heard about that. It's not worth it. But So if you're gonna sink that kind of money into it, you should be able to buy a custom paint color, not just a choice of paint colors that look like your hobby is going to funerals. You don't want to rile anybody up with loud colors. That was the one thing I got. They did have, I got the loudest color they had when I bought my Mazda 2. I got Spirit Green. And it was so freaking funny, man. I would, first off, it got more attention than anything I've ever driven from everybody. Everybody would stop and look at it. Because it was a nice looking, it was a very nicely styled car for a little gas saver. It looked like a little race car, like a go-kart style race car. And actually it wasn't much of a gas saver. I bought it before they had they call that Sky Active engine, I think, which increased fuel economy, but mine was before that, and for as small a car as it was, it got really lousy gas mileage. I think maybe around 28, 29, and it didn't help the way I drove, because it's a little race car. You gotta drive it like a little race car, right? So that didn't help either. But even in those days where I was trying to get my best, I can't remember if I got 32 out of it before or not. I'm thinking it was sold as 32 was on the sticker. I can't remember if I ever reached that or not. But that's small, and it was the lightest weight car on the market, so I should have had freaking amazing gas mileage. But I didn't care, man. Once I drove it, it was like immediately I was in love with the car. I knew I was buying it. So I ordered this bright color green, and it looks like a little bright green racing car, Spirit Green they called it. The guys that I worked with used to joke about it. They called it the Rocket. And but I would park more than once. I don't know why it elicited this response, but more than once I would take my wife somewhere, and she was just like in a strip mall where I would sit outside. She was just gonna run into a store and pick up a prescription or whatever, so I'd take her, she'd drop her off, she'd run inside, and I'd be parked out front. And more than one time, I don't know why, it's like I don't know how old these guys were, probably in their 60s or 70s, I don't know, age seems so much different to me. I'm almost 60 now. I don't feel it. But these guys come out and they looked like they felt it. And they would literally, they'd be walking down the sidewalk, and the color, of course, is going to catch your eye, and they'd stop, look at that car, just scowl. Funniest thing, I'd be cracking up laughing. I don't know if they couldn't see me inside, or I don't know. Maybe they just didn't care. You know, you get old enough, you don't really care anymore, so somebody here knows that you don't like them. Oh, I laughed so hard. That was back in the days when they were really pushing the green stuff hard too, so maybe that's what was going on. Maybe they were like on the good side of things, legitimately against the sales of all this idea of green technology, which was all just a scam. Still is a scam. But maybe they took it as me being a lefty and they just didn't like it. It's alright. I don't begrudge them. They are who they are, and it's alright with me. I just thought it was funny as heck. still do. People are funny, man. You know, everybody is, I completed 3 laps. I'm talking, I don't even know what I'm doing racing wise here. People are so funny because everybody, including me, not excluded from this. There's no way you can be excluded from this. Your worldview is the mass accumulation of everything you've taken in that tells you about the world. The only thing that really can escape you from that is being outside in nature and walking in the trees and spending a lot of time out there and watching how life is. It's the reason you'll see that the guys, hunters and naturalists, various people that are out in nature, that spend all their time out there, they're pretty based in what goes on. You talk to a real naturalist, not one of these fake internet naturalists. They understand, man, nature is harsh. As beautiful as it is, it's not man, nature doesn't provide social security. It's, if you're weak, it takes you out. And I'm not talking bad about social security. I don't mean it that way. I just mean, I'm talking about nature. Versus all these, I don't know. What's the right derogatory term for them? Wannabe tree huggers. I'm a tree hugger, man. I love trees. I really do. I love nature. But I understand it. And I understand there's a lot of these people out there that claim they love nature. They don't even know what nature is. They're naturalists from behind a computer screen. I don't get in and out in it like I should myself. I was raised in it though, and those are the best days of my life, man, running around on we lived across the road from a wildlife area. The state had set aside old strip mining, where companies come in and strip mine the land for coal. And then the state bought that land as the water filled in where they dug these big strips out of the land. It made a good place for fish and birds and wildlife to have their own little natural restaurant. So we lived right across the road from that. I would go over there and just hang out all day. I'd fall asleep over there on top of the big mounds of dirt and gravel that they had dug when they dug out of the ground when they were digging for coal. Some great days.
Restarts in 5 minutes.
Of course, all my troubles were offloaded onto mom and dad. They were the ones that had to figure out how we were going to pay the bills and eat. So I didn't have none of that to worry about back then. Used to see, we were like about 80 miles away from the biggest city, Kansas City. I used to have so much fun as a kid, because you know every kid knows about Bigfoot, right? And wild stories about creatures, different creatures, other Bigfoot and others like that. Got an itch in my sock. Can't have an itch in your sock while you're driving a truck. Well, you'd have these guys that would drive down from the city because it was, it's a state park, right? And they'd put their boats in and go fishing out there. I used to have so much fun. I'd sit up in the woods, make weird noises. I was always in a place where they couldn't see me. Plus the sounds that kind of echo around in the pit make it hard to tell which direction stuff was coming from. And it was always good fun too if they'd be down at the other end of the pit. I'd sit up on the rock wall, pick up a rock, toss pebbles in at the far end of the pit, and they would see them and think it was fish splashing down there. So they'd motor on down that way. Meanwhile, I would traverse my way up to the other end. And you have to understand, when they're in a boat and it's straight up, it's like cliffs on both sides. And then on top of those cliffs is big dumps of dirt, and those dumps a lot of times are overgrown with brush, trees, and such. So they couldn't see anything up top. They were well below water, or the water was well below the level where you could see anything on the bank. So they couldn't see me at all. I'd go down to the other end, right where they were just at, start tossing pebbles in, and motor back up to where they were at. They were using that little battery motors. Those were good days. I didn't do that a whole lot. I had some fun with them now and then. Usually those were weekend days. I was over there mostly during the week after school or in the summertime. There was no school. We finish this lap and get to the race. You all are probably sick of hearing me jaw. Back to the other point though. That's when you're in reality, man, when you're in nature. All this other stuff that you pick up off the web, off your TV sets, off your radios, out of your books, out of your magazines, all this media is all made up crap. And it all has some element. Oh, I got my bonus on my time. Look at that. Wasn't even trying. It all has some element. There's some agenda behind it. And I'm not saying secret agendas. Some of it there is secret agendas, but just in general, everybody's pushing their idea of what things are, what they should be. It's all made in such a way to pull you to into that same frame of thought, or to look from a similar perspective to others. Like if you're all inside of the same group. But even then, say I started the green car group, probably only people that had or liked green cars would would be interested in that group. So inside of the group, if I was making articles or content for that, I'm probably not going to be pulling more people in. But I still might be affecting on what's the best shade of green for your car. There's always that inclination for humans to manipulate other humans' opinions. I think it's just a way to expand their their bubble of influence, their slight power grabs. And I say all of this without, I'm not indicting anybody. It's just humanity. That's the way it is. This is what we do. When you have language, that's what happens. And to escape that language, you have to get out. To escape that function, I guess, you have to get outside of that language. You have to shut the language off. All right, we're gonna race. I'm 20 minutes in on this video and ain't even raced once yet, other than the timing, the practice stuff. If you're new to the channel, which everybody is new to the channel because the channel is new, just know this was always my plan. Come on here, play video games, and then talk about just whatever I want to talk about, because I like to talk, I guess. I seem to like to talk. I never run out of stuff to talk about so far. Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I'll just hit the end. Have nothing else to say, and you'll turn on the channel, and it'll just be cars racing, and that's it. Would that be exciting? Would that be a better channel? But I bet there's a lot of channels out there like that. Like these YouTube channels where they tell you, you know, you're searching for a specific problem, how to change the air in your jar of peanut butter. You know, you search on that, and oh, here's a video on how to change the air in your jar of peanut butter. And you look it up, and there's no voice. It's just like this very, maybe they put some horrible music in the background. If they do that, and then they go through all the hand motions, and you see the jar of peanut butter, and they're doing, holding it this way, turning it that way, all the hand motions and gestures as if they're want to be hand models. It's raining heavy. We got 4 laps on this track. Those kind of videos just irritate me though. Like, at least talk. But I suspect you know, some of them may be corners. Some people are just afraid of talking. I was too when I started doing these. It felt weird to talk into the mic. Talk to nobody. Sit there and talk when nobody's there. But now, I kind of like it. It's like therapy. Cheap therapy. I didn't get a penalty there. I wasn't sure that I would get through with not getting a penalty, because it was kind of my fault. Not that I intended to do it, but trying to get my way back. Make my way back to what my starting position was. Hold your head up. Oh, hold your head high. Oh, that song's in my head always. Gotta drive better with music. I don't even know the words to that song. I don't know who sings that song. Oh, down it up. Oh. I haven't heard that. I don't have that in my music collection, because if I did, I would know who it was. I need to look that one up. It was one I kind of forgot existed. Just popped in my head while I'm racing. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy for being so lonely. I don't know if that's the words or not. The song's got a nice melody. Ghostly. Alright. We're on lap 3 of 4. I gotta gain some serious ground if I'm gonna get on a podium. Gonna jack that apex up. Oh shoot. I was thinking that was a long straight. Oh gosh dang it. That was a mistake. Back to 14th position. This is the benefit, or that's the damage of the rain there. When the skies are clear, you can see where the track goes. When it's raining, you can't tell what the heck's coming up.
Total time penalty is about second.
Alright, race the track, race the track. Oh,
Total time penalty is about 1.5 seconds.
ah, the rain let up the last lap. I think they build that in. I noticed on one of my earlier races this week that it was super foggy the whole race, and on the last lap, it suddenly the fog burdened up. All right, let's see what we can do, guys. Man, where's my line? Get back on. It's so funny. It's like there's an invisible groove out there. When you get in it, you're just in it. It's like it magnetically holds you to it, almost. But when you get out of it, it's very hard to find it again. Just kind of mirroring their moves to try and get there. That was coming in the straight. I'm just not aware at all in this race. Yeah, back up to 10th position anyway. Minus the penalty, which, yeah, put me down to 11. Got me back on, or at least I'm on the board. Let's see where we are on the. Yep, back up on the main screen. I'm in the top 13. I'm in the top 13 and also the bottom 12. Or 13, I guess. Twelve is 24. But does that count to 12? 12, 24. So, yeah, there's 13 lines. So don't get me doing math. 11th place. Well, not spectacular, but it was fun. I talked too much during that. All right, guys, let's we're gonna kill this and start the next race.